Greetings, friends. My name is Pavel Stermach, and now I will dive in the top news of this day. Today and tomorrow, Ukraine marks the tragic 82nd anniversary of the Babyn Yar massacre. In just a few days, in 1941, Nazi troops brutally executed nearly 34,000 Jews in Kiev's Babyn Yar ravine. This Nazi operation became one of the largest and most heinous acts of Holocaust during World War II. Throughout their occupation of Kiev in 1941-1943, the Nazis used Babyn Yar as a mass execution site, killing approximately 100,000 civilians, including Jews, Ukrainians, Roma people, prisoners of war, Red Army soldiers, Ukrainian nationalists, communists, people with mental disabilities, and others. The Babyn Yar has become a tragic symbol of the Holocaust around the world. Ukraine pays annual tribute to the innocent victims of Babyn Yar, urging the world not to allow global human catastrophes such as the Holocaust to happen again. Never again is the motto and principle that humanity should live by as we remember the terrifying days at the end of September 1941 in Babyn Yar. Ukraine calls on the international community to join in commemorating the Babyn Yar victims. International solidarity and fact-based memory about the tragic past form a basis of collective confronting evil today and in the future. Ukraine makes every effort in cooperation with our partners to prevent the resurgence of racism, ethnic hatred, and totalitarian or authoritarian ideologies. But in Russia, it is tolerated very strongly. Authorities and propagandists have repeatedly said that it is necessary to destroy everything Ukrainian, the Ukrainian state and Ukrainian identity. It is not for nothing that hints about nuclear weapons are heard so often from the Kremlin. To achieve their goal of destroying Ukrainians in Moscow, they can do anything. By the way, no matter what they say, they don't need our territories, they don't need our people, they need a prosperous European country to be nearby. This is why cities and civilian objects are being destroyed, both on the front line and deep in the rear. Russia just wants to burn this land, along with people. That's why they destroyed the Kakhovka Dam. That's why there are no buildings in Bakhmut and Popasna left. In continuation of the topic of nuclear blackmail, according to the results of their voting at the session of the 67th General Conference of the IAEA, Ukraine became a member of the board governors of the agency for 2 years. And this shows that Ukraine remains a reliable international partner in the field of nuclear energy and will make every effort to assist the Atomic Agency in strengthening nuclear safety. Election to the Board of Governors of the IAEA emphasizes Ukraine's international role and provides real opportunities to influence decision-making, which are binding for all members of this organization. And I'll remind you that nuclear and radiation safety is the first point of peace formula of Ukraine.
We will do everything to ensure the complete liberation of our Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant from the Russian occupiers and to secure Ukraine and all of Europe from Russian radiation blackmail.
Currently, the greatest threat to global nuclear security is posed by Russia, which is destroying the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant it seized. And according to the report by the international organization Greenpeace, the International Atomic Energy Agency cannot monitor safety at the temporarily seized Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. A special group of Greenpeace experts has concluded that the IAEA has too few experts at Europe's largest European nuclear plant, namely 4 people, and that there are too many restrictions on access for them. Greenpeace's conclusion states that the IAEA is incapable of meeting the requirements of its mandate, but the agency's leadership is unwilling to admit this publicly, and as a result, Russia's violations of security principles are not being made public. The report also drew attention to the fact that there are currently violations of the 5 IAEA principles announced at the UN Security Council in May 2023 at the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. That is why the complete deoccupation of the ZNPP and its transfer under the control of Ukraine may be the only way to eliminate the nuclear danger. We have already seen what can happen to industrial facilities that are under Russian control, using the example of the Kakhovka hydropower plant. Ukraine is steadily moving through the defensive lines of the Russian occupiers. The armed forces of Ukraine are making progress in the Zaporizhzhia region, having penetrated Russia's strongest defenses. Progress on the Zaporizhzhia front is strategically important as it paves the way for the liberation of Tokmak. The liberation of this city would allow Ukrainian forces to push further towards temporarily occupied Melitopol and Crimea. While moving forward in the Donetsk region, the Ukrainian armed forces have successfully re-established fire control over the Bakhmut-Horlivka highway. This provides further opportunities to eliminate Russian troops' positions and disrupt their supply lines.
Our warriors need more means of destroying Russian missiles, Shaheds and other combat drones, as well as Russian aircraft. And I am grateful to everyone in the world who is already helping and is willing to ramp up assistance to our country with the means that can provide more protection against Russian terror.
Russia has spent months building the world's most formidable layered defenses in depth. Lines of interlocking trenches, bunkers, concrete anti-tank barriers and vast minefields significantly slowed Ukraine's advance in the first months. After enduring Ukraine's pressure for 3 months, including precision strikes aimed at the supply roads, Russia's occupation forces have lost the strategic initiative and are fatigued and demoralized. We urge our partners to provide Ukraine with additional air and missile defense systems to prevent further Russian missile and drone attacks on civilian infrastructure and our people. Ukraine is grateful to all its allies for their support and assistance in the fight against Russian aggression and uses Western military assistance in the most transparent and responsible manner. Our focus remains on safeguarding Ukraine's sovereignty, deterring further aggression, and saving the lives of our people. And one of the ways of protection can be Ukraine's accession to NATO. Yesterday, talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg took place in Kyiv. Acquiring full membership in NATO is Ukraine's strategic course declared in the Constitution. A year ago, on September 30th, Ukraine submitted an application to join the alliance. Nowadays, according to Stoltenberg, Ukraine has come closer to NATO than ever before. The meeting between Zelensky and Stoltenberg in Kyiv is already a de facto conversation between the allies. Defense interoperability has been achieved. The involved institutions are actively interacting. Cooperation is developing in the areas of intelligence, cyber defense, etc. And we are grateful to NATO for the help in strengthening our defense capabilities in the conditions of the struggle to preserve our statehood against the Russian occupier. NATO weapons are the weapons of victory. Ukraine defends the common space of freedom that unites all NATO members. Ukrainian victory is guaranteed to ensure long-term security and peace for the entire European continent. That concludes our today's video. Thank you for watching. Stay updated and subscribe to our UATV English channel for more news from Ukraine. Your support is that really matters. Goodbye.